guys, this is Mike W. with a review on the Leray self-balancing scooter, the Dream Walker. This thing has been out of the box a few hours, and I'm just going to kind of show you how it works. Over here, are the controls, if you can come around. You have, this is your charging button, and then right here is your power button. So you're just going to push that. You'll hear it turn on. You'll see a battery indicator light right there. You want that to be solid green. And then the hardest part is getting on and off. And so that's probably the best thing I could tell you about the scooter right now, is how to do that without falling. So you're going to start with your strong leg. I'm right-legged. You're going to put that foot up first, and then immediately afterward you got to bring your other leg up. If you don't, I'll just show you what would happen. If you put your weight on the thing, it takes off. So you can tell that that's kind of awkward because it's got to happen pretty fast. So you want to step on and then immediately step on. And once you're up, the best posture is straight up and down. You might want to scrunch down if you're a boarder, a skateboarder, or a wakeboarder, or whatever. You might feel the need to scrunch, but on this thing you want to be straight up and down. The controls are pretty simple. You lean forward slightly. You don't have to back up too much to go forward, and then backward is back. To stop is that middle point in between. And you feel like you're in a lot of control of this thing. It's not really scary at all once you've done it a few times. It's really just on and off that are kind of difficult. So forward and backward, and then stop. Now this thing is really cool because if you shift your weight, it'll spin in a really tight circle. And if you shift the opposite way, it does the same. And it's weird, but if you just think about what you want to do, it's almost like the scooter knows what you're thinking, but it's just a very subtle weight shift. If you've done board sports before in your life, it's going to be the exact same weight shift as you've used, and you won't even have to think about it. If you're new to any kind of boarding, all you're doing is shifting your weight and it automatically moves. It's very simple. So I can kind of show you on this circle here how easy it is. There's a rock right there. How easy it is to kind of stay within the lines. One thing is, like I said, you probably just saw me do it. If you've boarded before, you're going to want to squat down and compress. That doesn't help with this board at all because you're not turning it. It's just reading your weight shift, and it turns on its own time. And so you've got to learn to let the board do the work and just trust it. So I'm just going to take off a little bit down the blacktop, and you can kind of see how fast it can go. It goes. I'll be back. So it goes pretty fast. It can go 6.5, 7 miles an hour, I believe. The hardest part is just at a high speed turning. It won't turn as fast as you are used to if you're a skateboarder or a wakeboarder or a surfer or whatever. So you've got to kind of get a feel for the turns. You'll notice that there's two purple lights under my feet. They indicate where your balance is at. Right now my balance is pretty even. If I shift, you can see the lights flash and blink. I'm not sure if they're not just for decorations, but it does show where your weight is at. This thing is very durable looking. I've only had it today, and I'll come back and adjust my review accordingly if it proves to be a problem down the road. But as of today, it's very sturdily built. You'll be very impressed with that. One thing I want to show you is, I have a couple of tips, but probably the most difficult thing about this is getting off of it, and so I'm going to show you that now and try not to fall on my head. And it's just the opposite of what you did to get on, but you've got to do it kind of fast. So you come to a stop, and then you're just going to step back and off. Most falls happen getting off of this thing. So you're definitely going to want a helmet when you first start, especially if you're letting kids use it. The other tip I have that I learned today is we used it in our home at first in a carpeted area where we had a little room to move around. It moves a lot slower on carpet, and it's a lot more deliberate and a lot safer to learn on. Once we learned, it's been really easy. My 13-year-old picked it up really fast, my 10-year-old picked it up really fast, my wife picked it up really fast. None of us really had a crash at all. So I would definitely say if you're thinking of this as a gift for a child or an adult, it's really a good idea. It's just a ton of fun. Couple of things, if you can zoom in here, you'll see that, like I say, I've only had it for a short time and I've already scratched it up pretty good. The housing is a very hard plastic. If you're one that likes to keep your stuff really nice, you might want to put tape on here just the first couple of days until you're a little bit better. Because when you crash at a higher speed, it tends to tumble this way over and over, and you'll get 5 or 6, and it just dings it up. I'm not one that really minds, but if you are, that's a good tip. It needs to be charged for about an hour out of the box, just to make sure you've got it fully charged, and the battery light will indicate when that's the case with the solid green. A solid red means you have got to charge it now. It won't work for very much longer. Overall, this thing gets an easy 5 stars from me right out of the box. It works great, very responsive, does everything it's advertised to do, and it's a ton of fun. It's probably the coolest product I've ever tested. Like I said, if anything happens with durability, I'll come back on the written review and let people know. But for now, I highly recommend this Leray scooter for really all ages, and I can't imagine that it wouldn't be one of the most fun things you've ever tried either. Thank you.